Good evening, sir. I hope that I'm audible to you.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Sir, this is Aimcat 2420 and we are live on YouTube. We'll be starting this session. I'll be covering the section first, that is VARC analysis for Aimcat number 2420. And you'll be handling, sir, two other sections, maths and LRDI.
Yeah,
So
sure.
overall, the session, the Aimcat 2420, I don't know how was it in maths and LRDI, but in English, it was a moderate kind of a paper. So shall I start, sir, with section 1?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So very good evening to all of you. I hope that I'm audible to you, and please ask all the queries at the end in the chat box in your YouTube. We'll be answering the queries at the end. I'll be answering my queries at the end of my part, and sir will be answering the queries at the end of his part. Okay. So guys, Aimcat number 2420 was not a very surprise element as far as VARC was concerned. It was a very similar kind of a section which we have seen in 2022, or let us say even before that. So if you look at question number 1 to 16 were from 4 passages, and there were 4 questions from each passage. And question number 17 was from essence or summary, whatever you call. Question number 18 was a coherent paragraph. Question number 19, 20 was again verbal ability. And 21, 22 was little different, 23 was little different, and 24 was again a question on paraforming. Okay. So let's start with the first part, that is, I usually recommend people that attempt verbal ability first. This is what I usually say. So even in this particular kind of a set or particular kind of a test, I would have recommended a candidate that there are 2 schools of thoughts which typically we follow. The first school of thought says that attempt, let's say, almost verbal ability at number 1 and reading comprehension at number 2. So if you look at spending your time, then verbal ability, one could have easily given 10 minutes right in the beginning, and reading comprehension, one could have easily spent 30 minutes. And if you look at these 30 minutes, then these 30 minutes, you will divide them into 2 parts, whereby 5 minutes you will be spending on, you would have spent on your scanning, and 25 minutes, one could have easily attempted 2 to 3 RC passages. I'm not saying 2 because here I'll discuss with you the order of attempt, but typically in this paper, one could have easily attempted verbal ability in 10 minutes. And he could have started the paper from question number 17 only. So first school of thought. First school of thought says that question number 17 to 24, I'll do it in 10 minutes and not more than 10. Out of these questions, one could have easily attempted 5 questions. So if you look at the difficulty level of verbal ability was difficult. Yes, it was. Para summary and para formation questions were difficult. But if you look at para summary question, except for question number 20, the remaining were difficult. So I have already given you an idea that when you are attempting para summary question, let's say even in classes we discuss this, you have to first look at the theme of the paragraph. Okay. If you are able to identify the theme, then it makes sense to move ahead and attempt the question. If you are not able to identify the theme, which was the case in this particular test, except for question number 20. So what I'm saying is that one could have easily attempted question number 20 as far as para summary is concerned. Baki, it was difficult because themes identify nahi ho raha tha. Question number 20 theme identify kar liya tha, and I was able to distinguish between options also. So one could have easily make out one question in para summary. The para formation questions were also difficult, and it was evident that multiple possible sequences that seems valid. Okay. So logical connectors were also difficult to identify. So it was actually difficult to attempt this particular kind of a set in particular paraforming also. Now, since paraforming questions were non-negative in nature, you should have attempted them. And you should have taken that risk that, again, in spending this kind of time, I would have attempted this set. But yahan problem tha overspending ka. do not overspend an undue amount of time answering these, especially when multiple sequences seem valid. Please do not spend more time. Overall, one could have, ये मैं बाद में बात करूंगा. I'll come back to this later on. ठीक है? So अभी as of now, paraforming one could have attempted. Question number 22, 23, one could have attempted. This is fit in the para. Question number 22, question number 23, one could have attempted. These three questions you could have easily make out. And as far as paraforming is concerned, you could have attempted paraforming questions also. Now, easily one could have attempted 4 to 5 questions from this set of 17 to 24 questions. Okay, this was exactly vocabulary section. Interestingly, this paper, if you have scanned reading comprehension, then okay, before jumping on to reading comprehension, let's look at this. If you look at the difficulty level, you will find that almost only 2 questions, 20, 22, were medium difficulty level. Okay, so one could have easily attempted these 2 questions, and there is a probability of getting them right. Okay, now as far as 18, 21 and 24 is concerned, 18, 21 and 24 is concerned, I would have recommended you to take, you should have taken that risk to attempt these questions. ठीक है, और आप बहुत आराम से attempt करके भी बाहर निकल सकते थे. ठीक है, let's move. Now come to reading comprehension. Oh, amazingly interesting section. Now let's draw first of all the table. So our table says that passage number 1 consists of entrepreneurial culture in the United States. That was passage number 1. Okay, giving 4 questions. Passage number 2 was based on inquisitors. Look little difficult to go through the theme and central idea by looking at first 2-3 lines and last 2-3 lines and middle portion of the passage. Okay. Passage number 3 was on diversity of ecosystems. Again, it was not that difficult by looking at the theme, area of interest, and maybe scanning 2-3 lines, last में 2-3 lines and middle portion 2-3 lines. Passage number 4, which was on Dora, the explorer, okay, was again easy to scan. So if you probably look at this, I would have recommended that a decent order, 4th at number 1, 1st at number 2, 3rd at number 3, and 2nd may be eliminated. So let's say if I'm attempting 3 passages, then I could have easily make out 4, 3, 3. 10 questions out of this bundle. Okay, 10 to 12 questions, I would say, on a high rate of accuracy. Okay, so 12 questions from this side and 12 questions from that side. I could have easily attempted 5 questions from that side. 15, 12 plus 5, 17 questions in all. Now go back. Come back to passage number 1. Passage number 1 was primarily based on entrepreneurial culture in the United States. While scanning or probably going through the passage, this passage was not too difficult to read in terms of the theme. So सबसे पहले theme में difficult तो नहीं था. If you look at the questions while scanning the passage, then a suitable title for the passage would be which of the following base. So first was title, second was summary, third was key argument, fourth was assumption. Okay, fourth was assumptions. So it did not have too many details to remember or even multiple arguments. So according to me, it was a relatively easy passage one could have attempted easily. Students, if you look at the question types also, then title, summary, assumption, and key argument were 4 questions which were coming out from this passage, and you could have easily attempted that passage. Okay. ये मैंने second number पे बोला है. Inquisitors, it was difficult to read, so I said कि ये eliminate हो जाएगा. If you look at this passage questions, one can understand that the revolutionary aspect of the Inquisition involved. Then which of the following best describes the key elements of the thought developed during the Inquisitor? After reading the passage, one can understand from it all of the following sentences except the phrase such exactitude in the context of the passage can be inferred to mean questions were difficult with options really close and some of the wrong options being close to statements mentioned implied in the passage. Okay, this was a passage that a good student should not have attempted in the beginning. See, I always say your beginning is your opening batsman. So when I say that your beginning is your opening batsman, you have to be very, very careful in selecting the passage which you are attempting at number 1 position. This passage certainly cannot be in number 1, 2 or 3 position. Okay? Now, passage number 3, diversity of ecosystem, which was on biodiversity and all. It was not too difficult to read. In fact, couple of engineering students would have felt by looking at the theme that this is one passage which we may not attempt. But again, you were wrong, because 2 questions were data specific questions, and you could have easily answered these questions by reading relevant parts of the passage. So one specific portion of the passage is answering those questions. Students should understand literary terms like metaphor, analogy, rhetoric, irony, etc. as questions based on literary devices are very common in CAT. And question number 9, which was one question which I believe was difficult. All the following can be inferred to be true based on the last paragraph of the passage except. So now this question was demanding you to identify the inference, okay, and eliminate one which is not. Eliminate one means that's the answer, because which is not an inference that you're supposed to identify. Okay, so it is recommended that students spend some time understanding what these terms mean and how they are used in English language. This is typically what diversity of ecosystem, or what I say, a kind of biodiversity, जिससे start हुआ था Wilson, the father of biodiversity, and then passage moved on to ecosystem, diversity of ecosystem. Passage number 4, Dora the Explorer. It was relatively easy to read. The language was simple and there were not a lot of details that students needed to remember. A student who read and understood the passage well should have easily answered 13th and 15th. Now, there are those questions 13th and 15th which one could have answered by reading a particular part of the passage, okay, relevant part in the passage. 14, 16, they were typical critical reasoning questions which we do in classes in the form of CRHO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at these 2 questions. Which of the following statements, if true, contradicts the rationale of Carlos Cortez behind adopting a pan-Latina character for Dora? Okay, so again, this is a typical CR application question. So I'm not saying CR question, I am saying it is a CR application question. Okay. As per the data which we have received from the number of candidates who have attempted these questions and who got these questions right, as per that data, these questions, they were difficult, but since the language and theme was not difficult to understand, a good student could have easily attempted these in the form of if true set questions. If you remember, we have discussed this in classes. If true, which of the following, if true, would best support this, would best weaken this, would best resolve the paradox, etc. Okay, so in the beginning of the passage, ideally you could have attempted this passage. मैं अगर होता तो passage number 4 से start करता. मेरा पहला passage number 4 होता, looking at the theme of the passage. Okay, that's my order of attempt also. And this is typically what reading comprehension was looking at. Now, look at this order of attempt. 4, 1, 3, 2. So I don't know how many of you have followed the same order of attempt, and how many of you have probably attempted in a row 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a bad idea because 2 was difficult and you could have eliminated second passage, or at least at number 4th it will come. It will not come at second position. So those people who have attempted the test without drawing an order of attempt, they were at a mistake. Okay, because उस केस में वो शायद 4th passage तक पहुंचेगा ही नहीं. Okay, you will not even reach to fourth passage, and fourth was easiest to attempt. One could have started the test with fourth passage. Okay. Now go back to verbal ability. Now this is reading comprehension analysis. Overall an easy section of RC because there were two highly doable passages. There were two highly doable passages, passage number 4 and passage number 1. One could have easily make out 8 questions out of this bundle. And if you would have attempted passage number 3 with 2 questions, you could have easily attempted 10 questions out of 3 passages. So 4, 4 and 2. Passage number 1, 4 questions. Passage number 2, 4 questions. And passage number 3, 2 questions. One could have easily make out 10 questions from this bundle. Okay. Now go back. Go back. One could have easily attempted 5 questions from verbal ability. Okay. 15 का attempt तो यहाँ पे भी ठीक ठाक निकल सकता था अगर मैं एक अच्छी accuracy पे खेलता तो. Where मेरे पास में रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में मिस्टेक करने का ऑप्शन ज्यादा नहीं था. I had only one option of doing mistake in paraforming, which were non-negative in nature. So go back to VA now. Look at this. Now, a detailed analysis is available on our website that says that so many people attempted this question and so many got it correct. See how data says 7613 people attempted this question, 973 people got it correct. That means it's a very difficult question. Okay. But it was a non-negative question. So one could have taken the risk to attempt the question. Although there were multiple linkages which were coming out from these particular set of questions. So I am not saying it was easy, but what I am saying is आप यहाँ से बहुत आराम से 20, 22 attempt कर सकते थे, 18, 21, 24 attempt कर सकते थे. Okay. So 18, 20, 21, 22, 24. These questions you could have attempted easily because para summary was difficult. Okay, it was difficult except for one question, that is 20th. यहाँ से 5 का set मिल सकता था. Okay, so detailed analysis of VARC section for this particular section says that you could have easily make out 5 plus 10, 15 questions from the entire set. Now go to this point. I have written a point. Overall, a good student should be able to score around 23 marks. So what I am asking you to score around 23 marks in this section. A well-prepared student who adopts a strategy for answering the section can score around 31 marks. And 31 marks, if you look at 31 marks, then you can attempt 30, you can easily achieve 31 marks in just 10 questions. Okay. Or let's say 11 questions. So what I'm asking you to do is attempt 15 questions, get 1 or 2 wrong, typically non-negative wrong, try to maximize the accuracy in reading comprehension and get those 10 questions right. You could have easily scored on a higher range of percentile. Okay. This is typically what Aimcat VARC 2020, 2420. Now, a homework for you. What do you have to do? See, guys, understand this thing. I'll take a plain paper and then plain sheet and answer. See, when you look at this section, all questions of this section can now you can divide them into total questions can be divided into 2 parts: questions not attempted and questions attempted. Okay. Questions not attempted, as it is, you have not attempted them, but once you go back to your home, attempt all such questions. Attempt all such questions. That's your first job. Okay. Second is identify wrong answers. So when you attempt, divide them into questions right and questions wrong. Questions right means you should ask yourself why this set was not here in question attempted. Was it more time consuming, or made a mistake of not attempting? Okay. Or let's say I was confused whether I should attempt or not attempt. And then I chose to not attempt. See, do this analysis. Okay. And then ensure that this question falls on this side, that is question attempted. All questions that you have attempted now, divide them into two parts, questions right and questions wrong. See, you have attempted a question and you got that question right. Okay. Then your job is over. Okay. You will typically get this question right always. You have to just do an analysis by reattempting that question and check that मेरा कहीं किस्मत कनेक्शन तो नहीं चल गया था और ये राइट हो गया. So was it a guess? That's the only thing that you have to identify. No, it was not a guess. Then it's perfectly okay. You will always get it right. Now come to this question wrong. Most important analysis that you guys have to do is on question wrong. So let's understand that. Okay. Make a list of all wrong questions in my section. I'm talking about VRC now. This analysis you can do for all three sections, but typically wrong question analysis. I hope this is clear to everyone. I am just rubbing it off. Okay. Now come to questions wrong, because that's the only thing left. Now, reattempt all such questions. Reattempt all such questions. Okay. And in my area, let's say question number 1 is wrong. Assume that question number 1 is wrong, 5 is wrong, 7 is wrong, 9 is wrong. Okay. Now come to marked answer and draw a table like answer. Say marked answer is D. Write down the reason immediately after the Aimcat, that what was your reason while you were marking this as D. While correct answer is C. Now again write down reasons given in the solution, or let us say in the video solution of the Aimcat, and then try to see that, okay, what were the reasons to mark this answer as C. Okay, fair enough. Do this for every wrong question and then do reason analysis, that where your reasons are going wrong and you are not able to justify. Okay, so this is typically what you guys have to do as an homework after this Aimcat or any SAMCAT or any test. Okay, that will really help you in proving your scores and probably give you a preparation which is very strong and very solid. Believe me, you guys can do it. I know, because every year people like you only do it. Okay, they are from the same batches, from the same faculty members, from the same handouts, same material, and same Aimcats. The only thing is you need to provide a direction. You need to take help from us. Every faculty member is willing to help you out. Please reach out to them, discuss with them, just vent out. Okay, do not keep your doubts in your head, otherwise they will ultimately pile up and you will not be able to take the preparation ahead. Okay, so with this I would say this section was overall a moderate section where you could have easily attempted 11-12 correct questions and could have scored a good percentile. Okay, so I have with me your queries. In case you have a query, I can check it out. Okay, in case you want to ask something, you can ask right now. Else you always have an option. You can always post me, write to me at email address or the numbers given to you. You can connect to us. Okay, so now without wasting time and without boring you much on VARC, I'll hand it over to Anup sir. He'll be handling LRDI and quant section. Sir, over to you.
Yeah. How can I reclaim the host?
हाँ सर, मैं कर रहा हूँ. Yes sir, done.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. काफी लोगों को क्वांट और एलआरडीआई में जो सेंटर पे मिलते हैं जिससे कि दे आर फेसिंग लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स इन द क्वांट एंड एलआरडीआई. अच्छा, let me show you how to make the selections in quant first and then LRDA. Okay, mainly the problem is selection. When we talk about 22 questions in quant, I bet you in any Aimcat or any CAT previous year paper, if you take out easy or you can say little tricky, 8 to 9 questions are always there. If you say moderate or a little calculative, there will be 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 questions. And good questions, there will be only good or very good. 4 to 5 questions will only be there in the session. But these 4 to 5 questions, uh, बस आप इन्हीं में उलझ के रह जाते हैं ना. Once you see this question, oh, this is from time and distance, oh, that's my favorite topic, और आप उसमें लग जाते हैं. देन उसमें जो इसमें भी एक क्वेश्चन है टाइम एंड डिस्टेंस का, which will make मतलब पार्ट में कवर करेगा. दिस कवरेज ही इज कवरिंग विद हिम एंड देन ही रिटर्न बैक, ही कवर्ड विद हिम. तो दिस क्वेश्चन टेक टाइम. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द क्वेश्चन एंड सॉल्विंग द क्वेश्चन. इससे इजी इजी क्वेश्चन बहुत सारे होते हैं. सबसे पहले मैं आपको इजी इजी क्वेश्चन दिखाता हूँ. व्हाट कुड हैव बीन अटेम्प्टेड इजीली. सी, दिस क्वेश्चन इज अ फंक्शन ऑफ ग्राफ. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है ना. अगर आपका फंक्शन ग्राफ हो गया तो भी आप इसको अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं, और उसमें भी अटेम्प्ट करना इज नॉट इजी. तो यू कैन टेक इन इट गुड क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज इनमें दोनों का ग्राफ बनेगा, e की पावर x का कर्व का ग्राफ बनेगा. सो दे विल इंटरसेक्ट 3 टाइम्स, है ना. तो 3 रूट्स विल बी देयर. बट ये कब होगा? जब आपने फंक्शन ग्राफ पढ़ा होगा, और उसके बाद भी इतना इजी नहीं है. तो skip this question was the main task. Like this is the e की power x graph, and curve will cut here and the curve will go there. Okay. So this was the third attempt question. You should make your paper in 3 attempts. First one, make a round with the easy one. Second round, that moderate one. And third round, if you left with some time, then go with the good question. This question when you are left with some time. Okay. Yeah, this was easy one. This was easy one. Even in booklet, we have the same type of questions. बिल्कुल डिट्टो ऐसे क्वेश्चन हमारे पास बुकलेट्स में भी है ना. राम एंड सीता हैड ए नेम सम बाला. राम सीता बाला. प्रेजेंट एज इसका x है तो इसका 120 माइनस x, इसका y. जब ये y हो जाता है तो ये इसकी डबल हो जाती है. एज डिफरेंस सेम कर दो, इजीली यू विल गेट द आंसर. कितना इजी है. We have solved such questions in the class as well, है ना. So I hope you can do it easily, है ना. ये फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट का क्वेश्चन था. मतलब ऐसा क्वेश्चन देख के आपको करना चाहिए. सिंगल लाइनर क्वेश्चन है, सॉल्व किया हुआ है पहले से. We have solved this in the workbook, worksheets. So this is the first attempt question, easiest one. Easiest one. Where we see such questions, you see in surds and indices. सर्ट्स एंड इंडाइसेस के हैंडआउट्स में भी ऐसे क्वेश्चन है. इवन इन हैंडआउट्स, बुकलेट में तो है, हैंडआउट में भी यू विल फाइंड सच क्वेश्चन. दिस इज द क्वेश्चन यू शुड अटेम्प्ट इन द फर्स्ट. स्क्वायर करना इनका. स्क्वायर एवरीवन एंड चेक द आंसर. इजीली यू कुड हैव डन. जस्ट स्क्वायर एंड चेक. तो देखो 2 क्वेश्चन इजी आ गए, है ना. सेकंड क्वेश्चन एंड थर्ड क्वेश्चन. किसी को कोई भी डाउट पूछना हो, लेट मी नो, है ना. टाइप ए मैसेज. अच्छा, दिस इज द थर्ड अटेम्प्ट क्वेश्चन. क्वेश्चन की लैंग्वेज देख के समझ आता है. ज्योमेट्री का क्वेश्चन. इफ क्वेश्चन ऑफ ज्योमेट्री स्ट्राइक यू इन द फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, देन गो विद इट, अदरवाइज स्किप दैट क्वेश्चन. ओके. इन ए ट्रायंगल एबीसी, देखो ऐसा एक ट्रायंगल गिवन है एबीसी. ये मीडियम गिवन है ना. देन ये क्वाड्रिलेटरल पे कंसाइक्लिक की बात कर रहा है. तो फिर आपको ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. 90 डिग्री बन रहा है तो डायमीटर है, मिड पॉइंट से 1:1 रेशियो डिवाइड होगा, एंड ए लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. हाइट रूट 3/2 होगी, दैट इज इन द 3 रेडियस पार्ट होगा. So it will take a lot of time for you. So this is the third attempt question if you are left with some time, है ना? क्वेश्चन देख के ही फील लगानी चाहिए, नहीं नहीं ये अभी नहीं करना है, और गलती से इजी क्वेश्चन छोड़ भी दो तो दैट्स नॉट ए बिग टास्क, यू कैन डू इट लेटर, है ना? अगर आपने इसमें टाइम वेस्ट किया, इफ यू वेस्टिंग टाइम इन दिस, दैट मींस दैट इज दैट टाइम इज you are giving 35 minutes paper. If you have wasted 5 minutes in this, you are doing 35 minutes paper. And see the options. ऐसे ऑप्शन वाले क्वेश्चन तो वैसे लास्ट में करनी चाहिए, बिकॉज इफ यू आर एबल टू फाइंड दैट दिस इज राइट and you are not able to find this is right, even your answer is wrong, you know, such question you should attempt in the last. This is again one of the easiest one, first attempt question, है ना? Till now we have 3 such easy questions. क्लास में होता है ऐसा क्वेश्चन, है ना? बिल्कुल one of the again, मतलब ऐसा क्वेश्चन छोड़ने का नहीं होता, एक का पोस्ट प्राइस एक्स है, एक का वाई है, 20% प्रॉफिट है ओवरऑल, तो x plus y into 1.2 है, one item x was sold at 1.5, so you can get y 100 plus जो भी profit percent by 100, so you will easily get by solving this. This is again first attempt question. अच्छा see, this is second attempt question. क्वेश्चन देख के आपको थीम आना चाहिए कि ये मुझे फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में करना है या सेकंड. हाँ, अगर फर्स्ट में हो जाता है वेल एंड गुड. This can be best done by value putting. Such questions you should solve by value putting. अच्छा, value putting means put values of n. Put value. अच्छा, पहले तो इसको break up करो. When you will break this, you will get n minus 2 and n minus 4. Right? So there are 3 consecutive even numbers like 2 into 4 into 6. So it will be multiplied by 40. But I will say this is a little tricky question. है ना? अच्छा, tricky question है. स्ट्राइक कर गया तो वेल एंड गुड, नहीं तो सेकंड अटेम्प्ट में यू शुड ट्राई दिस क्वेश्चन. इनको एटलीस्ट फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में यू शुड नेवर ट्राई. इन थर्ड क्वेश्चन द स्क्वायर एंड सम ऑफ होल नंबर्स इज इक्वल टू दैट इज 55. थर्ड क्वेश्चन ये बेटा देखो, स्क्वायर करोगे तो a स्क्वायर प्लस b स्क्वायर प्लस 2ab भी आएगा ना, 2 अंडर रूट 136. a स्क्वायर प्लस b स्क्वायर प्लस 2 अंडर रूट 154. तो नाउ कैन कंपेयर ना 136 154 में कौन ग्रेटर है. ओके केतन, this was second attempt question, a little bit tricky. 7 obviously third. इतना लेंथी क्वेश्चन पढ़ने में, आपको रीडिंग करने में इतना टाइम लग जाएगा. थर्ड अटेम्प्ट क्वेश्चन, इट इज लाइक 3 people started the journey, one is going, one is walking, 2 people are going on the bike. He'll drop one of his friends, then he started walking and he turned back, took his friend from here and they reached to the destination together. क्वेश्चन समझने में इतना लग जाएगा, है बहुत इजी, सॉल्व करने में इट्स इजी, बट इट विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. इससे बहुत इजी क्वेश्चन अवेलेबल है पेपर में. डोंट वेस्ट टाइम इन सच क्वेश्चन. इफ यू गेट टाइम आफ्टर सॉल्विंग इजी क्वेश्चन, देन कम बैक टू दिस. ओके, this is again one of the easy question, first attempt question. P1 set of lines are this, P2 set of lines are this, है ना? So total lines कितनी है? If they intersect at 18 point, that is P1 into P2, that is 18. तो इसके factors होंगे 18 into 1, 9 into 2, है ना? 6 into 3. तो पैरेललोग्राम कैसा बनता है? इसमें से PNC का बेसिक क्वेश्चन है, रेक्टेंगल बनने वाला. 1C2 हो नहीं सकता, तो 9C2 into 2C2 ये पॉसिबल है. 6C2 into 3C2, 2 lines from this and 2 lines from this. If you know the basic PNC, you know. तो 2 ऑप्शन आ जाएंगे, C will be our answer. है ना? बहुत इजीली सॉल्व हो जाएगा if you know the PNC. That's the basic question of PNC. This should have been attempted in the first time. अच्छा, this, if you are comfortable with trigonometry, even then this question is not that easy. This is the third attempt question because it is a little bit tricky, literally quite tricky question, because here you will have to use sine theta in common, sine square theta, so sine theta and then 1 minus 2 sine theta. So I will say na, this is arithmetic mean. their power 1 by 3. That is greater, less than or equal to sum of them. Sin theta plus 1 minus 2 sin theta by 3. So 1 by 3 का cube हो जाएगा. समझ रहे हो ना? This is quite tricky. AM is greater than equal to GM. Arithmetic mean is greater than equal to geometric mean. Strike करेगा ही नहीं फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में कि दिस इज अरिथमेटिक मीन एंड ज्योमेट्रिक मीन का क्वेश्चन है बिकॉज दे आर यूजिंग ट्रिग्नोमेट्री इन दिस. So this is the third attempt question. You should skip this question in the first attempt. मतलब attempt ही नहीं करना है. Okay. Yeah, this is second attempt question because geometry का है strike कर जाए तो well and good because they are dividing this into like this strip 12 strip or I can make this strip like this. So जो base है इसका 6 root 2 we are these are the 12 times 6 root 2 का 12 times and then divided by 2. That was easy. But strike करे तो if it is strike अगर strike ना करे then it is second attempt question. I hope आपको समझ में आ रहा है what is first attempt के question, second attempt के question and third attempt के question. Because first attempt में I showed you can easily attempt 8 to 9 questions whether you are good with quant or not. If you are normal with quant, अगर आपको quant से डर भी लगता है, still you can easily attempt 8 to 9 questions. Now see next. If you know that is first attempt question, that is basic of logarithm. Logarithm का basic question है. हमें पता है this 2 goes here. तो ये क्या बन जाता है a log 3b 2 की पावर 1 2 a will get to the power of b that is 2. ये 3 इधर जाएगा तो 3 का स्क्वायर इट इज 9 देन इट इज b का पावर 8. अच्छा 9 दो तरह से रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं 9 की पावर 1 एंड 3 का स्क्वायर. तो देयर आर टू ऑर्डर्ड पेयर ऑफ 3b. बेसिक ऑफ लॉग फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट क्वेश्चन. आई ऑलवेज से अलजेब्रा. सी अलजेब्रा के क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी आते हैं बिल्कुल बेसिक से आया है. पीएनसी बिल्कुल बेसिक से आया है. अलजेब्रा बिल्कुल बेसिक से. अलजेब्रा बिल्कुल बेसिक. अलजेब्रा यू शुड फोकस. काफी लोग अलजेब्रा से सब लॉट ऑफ पीपल रन अवे फ्रॉम अलजेब्रा बट अलजेब्रा के क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी आते हैं. दिस इज वन अगेन अलजेब्रा बट इट इज सेकंड अटेम्प्ट क्वेश्चन. If it strike you in the first attempt, well and good. Otherwise, leave it for the second attempt. See, in these two, you take 2 की power 99 common, then 2 की power 1 minus. Let's leave move. So that is basically 1. So 2 की power 99 minus. See, 1 has been less. Now in these two, if you take 2 की power 98 common, it will remain 2 minus 1. Again it is cancelled. Less होता जाएगा लास्ट में इट विल रिमेन ओनली 2 की पावर 50. तो k का वैल्यू कितना आ गया n का वैल्यू सॉरी 50. बट सेकंड अटेम्प्ट का क्वेश्चन है बिकॉज यू विल हैव टू ट्राई. फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में यू कांट सी व्हाट यू हैव टू डू. इफ दिस स्ट्राइक्स टू यू you take 2 की पावर 99 कॉमन and it will remain 1. Difference will be 1. Then it is only 2 की पावर 99. So in next again it will be 2 की पावर 98 only. So it will goes on decreasing and last it will remain 2 की power 50. But it is like that if it strikes. That's why I'm saying second time attempt question. Now again algebra. You see a lot of algebra coming. Even not in Aimcat, in CAT even. Algebra, easy question. See, sum of first 12 terms. First term is given as 32. So you know that 12 terms का sum a into r की power n minus 1 upon r minus is equal to 6 times sum of next 6 terms. That is 18 term में से difference of subtract 12 terms. 13, 14, 15 to 18 term का sum चाहिए तो sum of 18 terms minus sum of 12 terms. है ना? We need this, so sum of 18 minus sum of 12. Now just solve for r. When you get the r, you will easily get, वो बहुत easily आ जाएगा. देखो r minus one, r minus one, r minus one are cancelled, right? So easily it will be solved. 32, 32, 32. A lot of things will be cancelled easily. है ना? I hope this is clear to everyone. So this was again second, first or second. If you have started solving, anytime you can take. If you started solving, solve in first, or then leave for second. It doesn't matter. It will be solved easily. The most easiest question, first attempt, numbers का question है. अच्छा, we know if unit digit is 9, अगर unit digit 9 है and power is odd multiplied odd will be odd multiplied odd will be odd, and 9 की power odd will give you 1. 9 is the unit digit. I think most simple question of the exam. Everyone should have done this. The most simplest question. So till now, in 14 even, you would have attempted 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3. I'm talking about the basics only. 4, 5, 6, 7. Even in 14 questions, only 7 questions are so easy that even handouts are having tough questions than these. Even in handouts, we have more tough questions than this. Again, this is so much easy question of mixture and alligation. 7:3 का ratio है, 4:3 का ratio है, and together we have to mix so that we get the ratio of 5:8. Basic question of alligation. This is 7/10. This is 4/7. This is 5/30. This is 4:9. So that is 4/30. You just have to subtract them. That is 1/13. LCM is 130. 13, it will cancel 10 times. So 10:41. So simple. First attempt question. Again, quite easy. Even our handouts are having more tougher questions than this. 14 number question. बेटा 14 में it is 999 की power 999 की 999. We see the unit digit, that is 9, and odd multiplied by odd will be odd, and if 9 is having any odd power, that means equal to 1. So 9 की power 1, 9 is the unit digit. Okay, Tushar, quite easy. So I always say work on the basics. जितना बेसिक पे वर्क करोगे यू विल बी मोर कॉन्फिडेंट. अच्छा, इस क्वेश्चन में 8 क्वेश्चन आ चुके हैं जो इजी हैं. यू शुड हैव डन दिस. मेरे सॉल्व करने के बाद आफ्टर आई एम सॉल्विंग यू मस्ट हैव रियलाइजिंग दैट यू शुड हैव सॉल्व दैट, है ना. या फिर आपने एग्जाम देने के बाद व्हेन यू ट्राई दैट एट होम, इवन दैट टाइम यू शुड हैव रियलाइज कि दिस वाज वन ऑफ द इजीएस्ट क्वेश्चन. Any paper, you take any paper, any Aimcat, any CAT paper, you will easily get 7 to 8 questions that you can solve with the basics only. You don't need to go with the higher level. And 8 to 9 questions will give you above 90% right. But still we are not able to get that. That means our selection is poor. See, what we do, we stick in with such questions. We get stuck in such questions. We get stuck in such questions. A lot of students will stuck in this question. है ना? हुआ होगा. You can analyze yourself. A lot of people would have wasted time on this question. And check your analysis. I'm saying you. A lot of people would have wasted time in this answer. And this is one of the toughest, one of the good questions, not the easy one. A number of people attack that question. मतलब ये question attack करने के है ही नहीं ना. You don't know the procedure. You're looking for the first time. If the questions are lengthy, leave them for the second or third round. I'm telling you, you will never reach the third attempt. This is again first or second, depend. If you have started, solve it or leave for the second round. बहुत बेसिक क्वेश्चन है परसेंटेज का, नॉट ए बिग डील टू सॉल्व दिस. Nitish want to get a 50% hike in pay, but the computer operator wrongly. So let's say salary was 100, he was to get salary as 150, but wrongly he got 100. After 3 months, company realized the mistake. So he was getting 30 extra. So in 3 months, he got 90 salaries extra. Now in the fourth month, they deduct 90. है ना? So 90 deduct, so he's getting 60 from 150. So that is simple. That is the ratio. That is 40%. Quite easy, है ना? फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट क्वेश्चन है वैसे तो, बट अगर सेकंड में भी करो लाइन से देख के तो चलेगा, बट कर दोगे आप लोग, यू विल सॉल्व इट इजीली, है ना? अच्छा, दिस क्वेश्चन इज द थर्ड अटेम्प्ट क्वेश्चन. I'll suggest that leave this question, है ना, because you are not sure what value, how many values you will get. Leaving this question is better because he is not giving what the number of points he is leaving with, and is a two-digit number. How many distinct values one can assume? It's the analytical question, and an analytical question should be done in the last. If you are remaining with the time, okay. So this was not the question you should have wasted time on. But some students might have wasted time on this. But now you should realize these questions should be attempted if you are left with time. Otherwise, leave them. Yeah, this is again third attempt question. Because question का length ही बता रहा है ना कि it's not that easy. You have to take values of P as 1, 2, and 3. Put in this. Any power of 5 will give unit digit as 5. Then P ka power 1 ka power Q. You will have to check with the putting different values of Q. Q ka power Q plus 5. You will have to check with the values. है ना? So these are analytical questions. So this should have been done in the last. Yeah, geometry. Now again, if you observe this question, you could have done this easily, or it could have taken time. Both the things are there, but that is again a third level attempt question. Because इसमें आपको एक right angle triangle बनेगा, है ना? एक right angle already है, तो दो similar triangles बनेंगे, है ना? Unsimilarity लगेगा. If you have a good practice on geometry, then try to attempt this. Otherwise, leave this question for the last. है ना? This is again third level, attempted to be in the last attempt. है ना? Because you will have to try a lot of f of 1. You will put x as 1, x as 2, x as 3, and then last way you will get f of 7 by manipulating all this. So these are the third level questions because there is no specific procedure we are facing. This is first attempt question. One of the easiest question. Transformation of root. Everyone you would have attended in the class. इसके रूट्स अगर अल्फा एंड बीटा है तो आई नीड एन इक्वेशन whose roots are half the roots of this. Then what we do, we replace x by 2x. So when you replace by 2x, you easily get the equation. That was all you were asked to do. Nothing to do. Just replace x by 2x because we need half roots. Instead of alpha, I need alpha by 2 and beta by 2. Again, question of factors, either in first attempt or in second attempt. See, you can see n plus 4. You can break in n plus 4. So that will give you 1 upon 72 upon n plus 4. What will divide 72? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can find the factors, or I can say number of factors. You can find it out easily. You know? Number of factors, like say 8, 9 का 2 का cube and 3 का square. So 4 option, 3 option, 12 factors. अच्छा, out of 12, factors will be more than 4 because n plus 4. So these 4 can't be factors. So 12 minus 4, 8 will be your answer. This is numbers question. Numbers factors. तो एक बार दिख जाए कि 72 से वही डिवाइड करेगा जो उसका फैक्टर होगा. तो फैक्टर फाइंड आउट किया, फैक्टर विल बी ग्रेटर देन 4. बस दैट्स योर आंसर. It was again easier. Now you check in the first attempt question compound. I show you. You can leave that, no issue. One question you should have done. Second question you should have surely done. Third question you should have surely done. Okay, skip that. Leave that. Leave that. Fourth question you should have surely done. Leave that. Leave even that. Fifth question you should have surely done. Leave that. Even leave this question. I'm not worried about this. This question you should have tried, but leave it. Sixth, this you should have done in any case. Seventh, basic question of allegation. You should have done this. 8, percentage question, easy. You could have done this. Leave it. Leave it. I'm leaving you a lot of questions. Still, leave this. Leave this. This was the easiest one, 9. And this is the easiest one. 10 questions. Easy. You could have done. So it's problem about selection. It's not a problem of concepts or quant. Quant में score नहीं होता. I'm not able to score in quant. So it's not the problem of quant fear. It's the problem of selection. I've shown you the easy questions which are done in the handout. When I solve the handouts in the classes, students say, "Sir, इतना easy आएगा क्या?" अरे आ रहा है ना? It is that easy. कितना easy आ रहा है? Question number 19 you want to solve. See, this is a rectangle. It is a semicircle. So diameter makes 90 degree with the circumference, and this is already a perpendicular. Lengths are given some, है ना? 18 and 36. So if this is x, then this is 9. 9 minus x. Because perimeters of given are this total 18. So half is sum of these two sides is 9. And if this is 9 minus x, this is also 9 minus x. And perimeter of this is 36, so half is 18. 18 minus, this is 9 plus. Now you know this is right angle and this is right angle. So if this is angle alpha, this is angle alpha. If this is angle beta, बेटा आएगा कोई भी कैट का पेपर उठा लो. आई शो यू द एनालिसिस अगेन. शशांक, टेक एनी एनालिसिस. Now these triangles are similar. In front of beta we have x. Here in front of beta we have 9 minus x. Here in front of alpha I have 9 minus x. In front of alpha I have 9 plus x. You can easily solve out for x. And when you get the x, you will get the radius, because 2 radius, diameter है ना, 2 radius is 9 plus 2x. Shreya, beta done? Similar triangle. Basically, this is a question of similar triangle. Okay, let's move to the DI, data interpretation, LRDI analysis. Achha, this was basically a good search. Now, you should have not attempted this in the first attempt, right? Because this is a circular arrangement. 8 persons are there. सबसे पहले आपको निकालना पड़ेगा, है ना, what is the waiting time, total waiting time. जैसे first one has waited for 2 hours 25 minutes. So that is 120 plus 25. 145 हो गया. So 145 minutes is waiting time for 135 minutes. है ना? You have noted all waiting times. Then use the condition A who waited longer than B is sitting to the third. Third कौन आया? 745 वाला. And उसका waiting time is 110 million. But you have to arrange in the circle. But this is not the first one. This you should attempt in the second attempt because टाइमिंग अगर आपने स्टार्ट कर दिया है तो ऑब्वियसली यू विल सॉल्व दिस, है ना. बट यूजिंग लुकिंग एट द लैंग्वेज यू शुड अटेम्प्ट दिस इन द सेकंड टाइम. इजी है, वैसे आपने ट्राई किया होगा आफ्टर द एग्जाम. यू कुड हैव डन दिस इजीली. सर्कुलर अरेंजमेंट है, वेटिंग टाइम से कंडीशन दी है ना. कंडीशन बनता जाएगा, दो चार केसेस बनाओगे, कैंसिल हो जाएगा एंड यू विल सॉल्व इजीली, राइट. Yeah, this was easy one, but still I'll say this also you should attempt in the second one because language is quite lengthy. Understanding of the question is a little difficult, but once you understand the question is easy. That is front left, back right, front left. Sorry. Front left, front right, back left, back right, and spare. So these are the five. So start with the month. Table बनाना पड़ेगा आपको. March 21 में, है ना, सबका क्या था? 000. Starting of the month 000 they have run. Then April में they run 2000 and that again 0. बस टेबल बनाते जाओ, स्वैप किया उसको हटाते जाओ, and then easily it could have been done. But still, I suggest for the second attempt, not in the first attempt. They be told in the question ना कि जो इस इक्वेशन के जो रूट हैं, we need an equation whose roots are half of this equation. और हाफ रूट चाहिए तो we replace x by 2x. That's it. ये ना basic question है quadratic का. Transformation of root we do in handout. Even these questions are there. If you solve the quadratic equation handout, these questions are available there. अब now are you feeling you should have scored quite high in this paper, है ना? तो हमेशा फील होगा जब तक कि आप सिलेक्शन बेटर नहीं करोगे. Till that time your selection is not good, you are never going to score. And when you select the easy ones first, don't show attitude in the paper कि I'll solve this high level question. Why to solve? I've left the जिसमें हल्का सा भी complication था, I left all the questions and then I showed you your 10 questions you could have attended easily. अच्छा, फर्स्ट और सेकंड अटेम्प्ट इजी थे, टफ नहीं थे, बट स्टिल आई सजेस्ट कि लैंग्वेज वाइज यू शुड हैव अटेम्प्ट बोथ द सेट्स इन द सेकंड. दिस वाज द इजी वन एंड शुड हैव बीन डन इन द फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट बिकॉज कॉस्ट प्राइस गिवन है. 5 पीपल है, ललित, मनोज, नवीन, ओमार, पीयूष. लोग कम है ना. किसी ने 40 से ज्यादा प्रॉमिस. ललित मेड ए प्रॉफिट, डिड नॉट. अच्छा, 3 बना लो. कॉस्ट प्राइस, सेलिंग प्राइस, ऑप्शन और प्रॉफिट. ऑप्शन बना लो, इजीली टेबल बन जाएगा ये, है ना. जैसे ललित को क्या कह रहा है कि डिड नॉट राइट परचेज द हाईएस्ट, तो ललित का कॉस्ट प्राइस क्या क्या हो सकता है? 45, 68, 73 and 77 and eliminate as per the profit is greater than 35. अच्छा, 35 से ज्यादा प्रॉफिट कहाँ होगा? कॉस्ट प्राइस 43 है तो 35 पे कितना हो जाएगा ये? 45 and 35 80. तो मतलब उसका सेलिंग प्राइस इनमें से कोई है ना. मनोज डिड नॉट परचेज एट द लोएस्ट प्राइस, 45 पे परचेज नहीं किया है. परचेज द राइस वेस्ट फॉर 75 per kg, so that means he is getting only 2 options, 68 or 73. बस you have to make the table. इजीली एक टेबल बन जाएगा, कैंसिल आउट होता जाएगा. You could have done this. This was the first attempt DL. अब लैंग्वेज देखो, लैंग्वेज दिख रहा है ना, इजी लैंग्वेज है, कम लैंग्वेज है, कम डाटा है, तो कम डाटा तो ज्यादा जल्दी टैकल हो जाएगा. लास्ट में देखो डाटा बहुत सारा था, है ना, बहुत सारा डाटा था. इसमें भी डाटा बहुत सारा था, इसीलिए आई सेड अटेम्प्ट इन द सेकंड टाइम. दिस लेस डाटा, इजी लैंग्वेज शुड हैव बीन सॉल्व्ड. आई होप अंडरस्टैंडिंग है क्लियर कि हाउ यू शुड गो फॉर द DI, है ना. LRO DI बहुत इजीली सेलिंग प्राइस के ऑप्शन लिखे, and the least profit anyone made was greater than 10, तो 45 है ना? जैसे मान लो ये 85 है, तो 85 को मैं 78 और 84 में सेल नहीं कर सकता। ये देख कितना था, मनोज डिड नॉट परचेज राइस एट द लोएस्ट प्रॉफिट मेड बाय एवर, 100 से ज्यादा सेल नहीं किया किसी ने, तो इनके दोनों के सेलिंग प्राइस कितने आ जाएंगे? 78, 84 और 98 में से। तो पता है ना, इनमें से ही कोई दो है इनके। ऐसे कंडीशन बनाते जाओ, राइट? दिस वाज द इजीएस्ट फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट का था ये सेट, इजीएस्ट सेट है ना। 15 स्टूडेंट थे, टेबल बनानी थी सिंपल, इस ग्राफ की ए बी सी डी ई एफ जी एच आई जे के एल। टाइम लगेगा इसमें, बट सोल्व होगा फॉर श्योर, क्योंकि करना तो कुछ था ही नहीं ना इसमें, करने को तो कुछ था ही नहीं। स्कोर इन गैट, अच्छा गैट में ये वाला स्कोर है ना, जी -20। लेट्स से ए का देखते हैं, तो ए का कितना है? 30 गैट में। बी का कितना है? दैट इज -15। सी का कितना है? दैट इज -18। बस ये स्कोर लिखने थे। ऐसे ही पैट का स्कोर लिखना था, स्कोर ऑफ पैट वाज इन वर्टिकल लाइन, है ना। जैसे ए का कितना है? ए का हम देखें तो ये 10, 12, 14, 16, 17। बस ऐसे पैट का स्कोर लिखना था, और फिर बस ये देखना था ये कौन से उससे बिलोंग करते हैं, C1, C2, C3। कंडीशन गिवन है हमें, है ना, बहुत इजीली गिवन है, आप इजीली इनको अरेंज कर सकते थे। Just able to solve first set completely, but when I go for the next set and can do half of it only, I do not get enough time. Yeah, good. See, अब देखो, आप first set complete कर पा रहे हो, that means you are solving 5 questions, and second set half, so I'll say 2 questions. So 7 questions is giving you almost 90%, है ना? Okay, Minto, 7 questions are giving you the 90%. And now you are left with 5 more months. 5 more months you have to practice good sets, practice good sets. अच्छा, इसमें तो इजी था, अभी कनेक्टिव तो कहीं था ही नहीं, इसमें डिडक्शन का कुछ था ही नहीं इसमें, है ना। दे वर नॉट यूज, एंड व्हेन दे आर मिक्स्ड विद द DI and LR set, set become more और अच्छा ब्यूटीफुल बन जाता है सेट। हाँ, स्क्रॉल अप स्क्रॉल डाउन का प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है, बट ठीक है, आपने एक बार टेबल बना लिया सामने पेपर पे, आपने ग्राफ किया एक बार, जो जो ऊपर दिख रहा है आपको, देखो तुषार, जैसे मुझे BCLJIE ये दिख रहा है, तो एक बार मैंने यहाँ तक का ग्राफ बना लिया, एंड देन आई मेड द ग्राफ फॉर द लोअर वन, है ना। ऐसे भी कर सकते हो। दैट दैट डिपेंड ऑन योर मेंटेलिटी एट दैट। ओके, practice good sets, mentor, and then just try to attempt 2 complete sets. If you solve 2 complete sets in the exam, you are above 90% China. You just have to work a little hard, going good right now. If you are solving 1.5 set till now, so you have 5 more months to practice. Even still, you are able to solve 1 set in the paper. You have 5 more months. You have to increase the speed to solve 1 more set, and you will be in the above 95 to 99%. Anyone want to ask any other analysis, what you are facing difficulty, what how should attempt this set, that set, and what you should look after? Please let me know what doubts you are having in the mind. I have given you the analysis. Now you can see it was easy. You could have solved that. Nothing was complex. Complexion hota to leave it na. Yeah. First or second set I told you leave them. Third and fourth set were the easy ones. Nothing complex, nothing else. Okay, it's about mentality now. When you complete the course, अच्छा लोगों को, कुछ लोग तो इसी डाइवर्जन में रहते हैं, यार आई हैव नॉट कंप्लीटेड दिस, आई हैव लेफ्ट दिस फॉर्मूला, आई हैव लेफ्ट दिस। अरे nothing matters, beta. You have 22 questions, and if you are attempting 10 to 12 right, you are in the 99 percentile. Don't worry about that much. You have to attempt easy and the moderate ones. Tough ones you do not even have to attempt. But at least I'll say 3 sets, 2 to 3 sets. At least you should practice per day. 2 to 3 sets at least minimum 2 sets or 3 sets. You should try, not less than that. Acha, most of the people would have got load two. Some people will get load two in after few time after short of time, and few people are getting sectional tests. You can attempt sectional tests. Okay, let me come to the first slide because the light is safe now. Now, what you should do first of all, you should do maximum mock test. है By if your course is almost done completed, solve the mock test. Actually, mock test that means mixed question. Not like you are solving percentage first, then profit loss, completing the profit and loss, and then completing something else. Mixed question you should try so that in a day you face all chapters. At least one question. At least one question from each chapter you should practice in a day. So that revision is also going on. है ना? Revision is also going on together. Like SICI का question आया मेरे पास रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पे एक प्रैक्टिस हो गया कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट के फॉर्मूले का है ना प्रॉफिट लॉस का क्वेश्चन आया मार्क प्राइस पे एटलीस्ट मार्क प्राइस इज डिवाइड इन द डे ज्योमेट्री पे क्वेश्चन आया सेंट्रोइड पे एटलीस्ट सेंट्रोइड इज डिवाइड पीएनसी पे क्वेश्चन आया डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एटलीस्ट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इज डिवाइड तो एक मिक्स क्वेश्चन का सेट करोगे तो यू विल गेट रिवीजन ऑन द डेली बेसिस if you complete if you do like that कि भाई एक दिन में 4 दिन प्रॉफिट लॉस कर रहे हैं फिर नेक्स्ट 5 डेज सिंपल इंटरेस्ट कर रहे हैं एक महीने बाद अपने फंक्शन वापस उठाया एंड यू आर लाइक सर हम तो सब भूल गए वी फॉरगॉट एवरीथिंग इन फंक्शन नाउ आई डोंट रिमेंबर ये होगा ना बिकॉज व्हाट यू आर डूइंग you're just focusing one chapter in a day do that focus on one chapter but try at least mix questions वीक में कम से कम 2 mock tests दो give 2 mock tests that is SAM test you have sectional test you have, Aimcat you have, है ना lot of tests you are having, give them. जितना टेस्ट दोगे उतना ज्यादा आपका रिवीजन होगा एंड देन एनालिसिस इज द बेस्ट पार्ट ऐसा नहीं टेस्ट देके छोड़ दिया एनालिसिस आई हैव वेस्टेड 5 मिनट ऑन दिस क्वेश्चन व्हाई am I that stupid कि मुझे ये क्वेश्चन दिखा नहीं कि मैं इसे सॉल्व नहीं कर सकता या इट विल टेक टाइम लीव दैट ना फाइंड द इजी वन फर्स्ट then in second attempt try with these questions okay analysis must be proper okay this was the easy question but I couldn't solve so I should revise this topic first है ना AIMCAT gives you that facility as well कि आपको पता चल जाता है कि आप भूल गए हैं वो टॉपिक एंड यू शुड रिवाइज दैट फर्स्ट मॉक टेस्ट एंड मॉक टेस्ट जितना आप कर okay I hope that was enough for you guys today है ना and confident रहो you will do it try easy ones solve the easy ones होगा क्यों नहीं होगा the only problem with us is we are just focused on the tough parts tough question करो practice करो but exam में tough try मत करो exam में easy one try okay any more questions with anyone or should we leave the session all right bye bye take care everyone